Oh well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Well, happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Man, there's so
Happy
much we
birthday
can
to
do
me.
on your birthday. I'm so glad it's your birthday, baby. Oh, thank you very much for tuning in. Bye-bye.
My dude. My dude.
Welcome to In the Backfield with Keith Meiger and Peyton and Hillis. Dude, it's been a while since you've been right in that seat sitting here. We're about to do a podcast. It's your birthday today. The big 4-0. How do you feel?
Yeah. 4-0 my butt. dude, I dread every birthday now from like every year. Like every one now just gets a little worse and worse.
Why? No.
Dude, I'm telling you, my vision's starting to go now a little bit. I'm a little upset about it.
Your vision?
Yeah.
Why would your vision be going?
Yeah, I have like high blood pressure, man. It just affects it.
High blood pressure? Oh, man. It feels good to be back, right? You haven't been here in a long time.
Dude,
it's been forever.
Freaking holidays, everything else, and kicking my butt.
Yeah, but I mean,
Really has.
are you feeling better though? Is everything's good and everything's happy in Peyton land?
Yeah.
You play with a knife?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought so. That's cool. So everything's good in Peyton land. You look like
Everything's
Crocodile
good in
Dundee.
Pepe land.
What?
Who's that?
So you look like Crocodile Dundee.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, so we've been gone for a while. We hadn't had a chance to talk about the Browns, like when they first, when they beat the Steelers. How'd you feel about that? How'd you feel about the Steelers? We got a lot to talk about the Browns, anyways. But let's just start at the beginning when we got in, for the wild card. How'd you feel about that? What was your takeaways?
Dude, it made me happy because, everything was based on that game. Yeah. We just come off that tough road game. And then the Steelers happened, and I'm thinking this is where usually Cleveland would fall apart.
Right.
If, they're going to enter the playoffs. And then they squeak it out past Pittsburgh, and I was happy.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I felt like that was an obstacle that they needed to reach. But then the next Pittsburgh game, it was like they couldn't do nothing wrong. It was like everything that I thought that was going to happen, that could happen well for them, did. And the sad part about it is, they were running the ball so effectively in Pittsburgh. And I mean, at night in Pittsburgh is almost like unstoppable.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're getting happy birthday wishes?
Yeah, happy birthdays. But
40's got to suck.
Anyway, dude, to play Pittsburgh at night in Pittsburgh is like one of the hardest things to do. And then on top of that, everybody thinks that Pittsburgh was this great team anyway. I never did. And the way the Browns beat them that game is the same way I thought the Browns should have beat them the first game they played against them in Pittsburgh.
Right.
And they got shellacked. But then even though that game was so impressive, when they came out against Kansas City, to me, that whole game, they were the better team to me than Kansas City was.
I think they were too.
If you really think about it,
right.
Brian Brennan and Ernest Biner in the 87 AFC playoff game where Biner fumbles the ball on the goal line.
Yes.
And also Brian fumbles the ball, on the other side of the 50. And I'm just thinking, if Biner would have held that ball, if he'd held that ball, how would it have been different? But that was the same thing leading up to the, second half where you fumble it,
right,
and they get a touchback. And right then when that happened, we could have been within a touchdown of them. And when that happened, that's what came to my head was like the 87 AFC play.
Well,
and
it happened on the same day.
Yes, but then they end up only scoring like 3 points.
Yeah.
In the second half, and we came that close. To me, our defense stepped up in the second half, and honestly, I was so impressed. With the offensive side of the ball the past 3 games.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I really was very impressed with them. And now everybody that's hating on the Browns now, that was hating on the Browns, I don't think they can do that anymore. They were a team that was playing at the highest level, and they're playing with the previous Super Bowl champs neck and neck, and could have won. And Baker, you can say what you want to say. I said at the beginning of the year, I think he's a Brett Favre type of QB. I think he's in a great offense where he does a lot of bootlegs so he can use his feet.
Right.
And he can throw the ball. He has great hits. And he's just in the right offense now at the right time. And I'm so excited about next year just because we really had a chance. 2 or 3 plays from being in the AFC Championship game this week. And nobody was expecting that at the beginning of the year. Nobody besides me. I have to say that besides me.
No, you did. You called it. You said they were going to be good. You did. And there was a lot of people that didn't agree or didn't think about it.
But the one thing that I was not expecting was the tremendous play by our defense later in the year, even though we were having so many injuries and our backfield, or our defensive backfield is being demolished all year long. But at the same time, the offense and how Baker, how he came from week 1 to week 6 until after that, he stepped up his game 3 or 4-fold. He did. And everybody in Cleveland should be happy with Baker Mayfield.
Well, so I want to hit on a couple things before we move on to actually Baker himself. But that helmet to helmet, that call that should have been targeting. What'd you think about that? Was that a targeting call? Was that something that we should have complained about? Did the refs miss something? What? I don't get it.
Well, so usually what happens is if there wouldn't have been a fumble, he'd have got the targeting call. But since he was looking so hard at the ball, if it crosses the goal line, if it didn't, and they had that helmet to helmet, and the helmet to helmet's what made him lose the ball.
Right.
So right when that happened, his focus was on the ball the whole time. He didn't even see the helmet to helmet because 2 things were going on at once to me, and it was so quick and so fast. And he was thinking, did it cross the goal line? Did it not? And I don't even think he was looking at that. But I remember when they were challenging the play, the guy up top that was looking at the challenge, he noticed it.
Right.
But none of the refs on down the field did.
Right, no, for sure. So that was definitely that was a crap play.
Yes, that was helmet to helmet. Sure, yes. There's no doubt about that.
And I think everybody agrees with it. I'm pretty sure everybody in Cleveland, even some people in Kansas City, knew it was a crap call, that it shouldn't have happened. That But you said there was a bunch going on. He wasn't they weren't going to be able to see 2 things at once. So it happened. Where it happened was the issue.
That is very true. Where it happened is an issue. And, people can say, man, it was helmet to helmet. We still had, I forgot how much time do we have when he fumbled? It was 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Something like that, 20-something seconds.
there was a decent amount.
You can actually say to yourself, should he stretch for the goal line? If you do, you take a risk. Say if he'd have covered it up and didn't score, but he got on the 1-yard line, had 20 seconds to go, then we punched it. You could say a lot of different things. Well, was he selfish? Was he not? Right. He was just trying to make a play, and it didn't work out for him. But, it just sucks that he didn't knock him out of bounds at least instead of it crossing the other side of the pylon.
And that's the other thing I want to talk about. That rule is stupid as shit. That's a dumb rule, man. I don't understand that.
See, I see, but here's the deal. Say if that wasn't the rule, what else could happen? You fumble the end zone and it goes out. What happens then? Where would you put the ball?
I don't know, spot at the 5. Why would you have to, why would you have to, I don't know, that rule doesn't, I don't know. It just made me mad. I don't get it. I don't really understand it.
No, it kind of makes sense to me. It's kind of like, you could make the argument when on a kickoff and the ball's kicked out of the back of the end zone, they put it on the 20.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So if you fumble the football and it goes out of the back of the end zone out of bounds, you can spot it back at the 20. And not give the other team possession. You can make that argument. But, as far as putting it back on the 5, I don't know. That's a tough one.
I don't know. The rule made me mad, but I get it, I guess. I haven't seen – and there's weird things that I haven't seen that have, happened to the Browns. And I'm talking about from a fan's standpoint. I don't know as much as you do, obviously. But to me, it just seemed not – I don't know. It just didn't seem like a kosher type thing we should have done. But then if you take a look at, going back to the Steelers, do you think Juju had anything to do with the way we won? He pissed everybody off. The jackass was dancing on logos and being a moron. I hate this guy.
To me, the way the Browns been playing over the years and the type of year that they're having, the guy's having fun. Hate him or like him. You know what I mean? I saw that face.
He's
at the same
arrogant.
time,
Like, dude, when you have more Tic Tac videos or whatever the hell he's on than you do receiving yards, don't you shut your mouth? Like, I mean, don't you, like, I don't get it. Like, when you have more videos and more little dancing moves or whatever the hell he's doing in there than he actually does on the field.
Professional athletes, though. I mean, they're going to have a little bit bigger of an ego than most folks do.
Well, I know. I deal with one on a daily basis.
But when Baker throws a touchdown, he goes on the sideline, act like he's taking pictures of somebody. You don't say too much about that, and that's showing off.
That's different than showing off. But he made like a bunch of videos dancing on our logos and stuff, and then basically he turned around and said a bunch of crap about the Browns. The Browns is the Browns. Like what? Like come on, like but they didn't like. And then Claypool was like, "Oh, the Browns didn't win with class." Are you kidding me? Your little juju bean over there is jumping around like an idiot, doing a whole bunch of crap that nobody cares about, and we're the ones that don't like have class.
Dude,
jackass.
I don't know, dude. It's really not important, I guess. I mean,
no,
I guess it's really what you think about the guy. But I mean, dude, honestly, all in all, we should be very excited, like where we ended. I mean, I know we all want to win the Super Bowl, but at the same time, think how far the Browns went, not just from last year to this year, but from mid-season till now, how far we went. And I mean, we got a great head coach in Stefanski, man. I mean, he's a great head coach, man.
Oh, 100%.
There's no doubt about that.
Coach of the year, right? I mean, we're talking coach of the year across the board.
Should be. And there should be no doubt about it.
He's a shooter.
And, I mean, and the way our defense played with really not a lot of star talent, like, what people think are stars.
Sure.
And, I mean, dude, that last game against Pittsburgh, man, we made them look like the worst team. I mean, really. And I know they made some points on the back end, of course. But, I mean, if you're talking about like the first half, it looked so bad that I couldn't believe it. I mean, I couldn't believe it.
No, me neither. I mean, it was insane. And if you look at what we've done, like you said, it's a crazy, crazy, crazy turnaround. Like from what we normally have done, from what we do now. Like, I don't know. I'm not mad at how it ended. You know what I mean? Like, I'm upset. I'm sad, but I'm not mad. For the first time in a long time, I'm not looking at the Browns going, oh, there's always next year. I'm looking going, oh, my God, I can't wait to see what happens next year. You know what I mean? Like, what we're going to do, how we're going to draft.
I mean, honest to God, like, why would any Browns fan be upset? I mean, don't get me wrong. You could say, man, we could have won that Kansas City game. No doubt about it. I mean, there's no doubt. But on the other end, though, you're thinking, man, dude, we almost made the AFC Championship.
Right.
We're the top 6 teams or 8 teams. That were in it. So I mean, we got to be happy at some point and just multiply it next.
Super happy. All of Cleveland should be super happy. And you're going to have those fans, but we've dealt with them too. And this is what we're talking about, like when we say Cleveland against the world. It has a lot to do with how the fans are bandwagon fans. A lot of them weren't there, didn't want to be there until, we were where we're at now. And now we got all these people coming out going, oh, we don't think we're going to be all right next year, or, something's going to happen next year, or trade Landry, which is the stupidest thing I've heard. Like, that's a lot of the stuff going around is we need to trade Landry. Why? Why would you? I mean, what would be going through someone's mind thinking they need to trade Landry?
Well, before we trade Landry, if that even is on the block, why wouldn't you think about Odell Beckham first?
Get rid of Beckham. That's what I said. Get rid of Beckham. And it's not that I don't like Beckham either. I think the media is way too hard on him. But he did kind of ghost a little bit during the the run and everything when he wasn't playing. He didn't really say a whole lot about the Browns, but then when we got in the playoffs, he did pick up a little bit. But I don't is the era of Beckham, I think in the Browns should be over. I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think we're going to do anything, but I don't think he's a huge piece of our puzzle right now.
I remember the Browns, they had a good record, but they were screeching by the teams we should beat, and then we're losing by the teams that we thought we should get beat by, or people thought we should get beat by.
Right.
And then he gets hurt. And then right after that game, Baker had really his first big passing game of the year.
Yeah.
And Odell Beckham was out, and you're like, man, it's because Odell is not in there. You don't have as much pressure, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I have to go back and say you were right about that.
Thank you.
Just because look at Baker's game after Odell left than before. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. I do have it. Like, this is something that I think people would be interested in at least hearing. Is like What would you do with a team like what we have now? Like if you were a player, if you were the third one or second one, if it was Chubb, Hunt, and you, like, would you feel comfortable with everything? I mean, would you feel? I mean, I know you loved Mangini, I know it, I get it, but what would you do under a Stefanski like coaching staff? Do you think it would fit in? Do you think you'd mesh?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Stefanski's a very conservative. He's a very conservative guy.
Yeah.
I mean, when you really look at it, I mean, they would love to play a 2 tight end set. I mean, they're a heavy running game. I mean, they have a heavy running game, and they're built for that, though. I mean, they're like the Vikings where he came from. I mean, the same philosophy. But I mean, like even in the Kansas City game in the first half, why didn't we run the football?
Right.
And I don't get that. I mean, like when Hunt got the ball, as little as he did well. I mean, Chubb, not so much.
Chubb,
but we didn't even try to
passes.
solidify.
Right.
Dude, I mean, how Hunt ran against the Steelers the week before. Chubb, I mean, both of them. But I mean, like you would think coming against that Kansas City defense.
Yeah. And
try to keep Mahomes off the field, even though we did in the second half. And I mean, the first half they scored with every opportunity they had, but it was, field goal here, field goal there, touchdown there.
Goals.
I mean,
I know it.
I heard that.
All right, let's take a quick break. When we come in, we want to break down some of the Browns, what we need to do next season, what we need to do for the offseason. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to In the Backfield with Peyton Hillis and Keith Meyer. It's been a while since we both were doing the show. There was a lot going on, holidays and everything like that, Browns, playoffs. Dude, everybody was busy. Like, it was busy time.
Dude, it's been a crazy time. I mean, I don't know what it is.
It's great. That's what it is.
I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know, if you're bored, you want to be busy. When you're busy, you want to be bored. I don't know. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah, that's very true. All right, so the Browns, here's what we got. Next year, what do you think are the right moves to make to put us in the, obviously we want to go further than we did this year, but to put us and build us better, what do you think needs to happen?
Dude, man, we need the X factor, man. We need a Selleck. You know what I mean? We need somebody like that. We need a great tight end, man. That's what we need.
What do you think we do in the draft? Because don't forget, the draft is in Cleveland this year. So, I mean, that's kind of cool for the city of Cleveland. But what do you think we need to draft? What do you think we need to do? And do we trade OBJ? 3 questions, big ones. Well,
we do need to trade OBJ, in my opinion.
So get rid of him?
Yep.
I'm not saying that's wrong either.
I mean, usually most teams are going to go with the best player unless, they have a quarterback. That's when they wouldn't do. But, I mean, honestly, man, I would focus either on tight end or linebacker, in my opinion.
So if we go tight end, what would you want to see? Anybody from, since we're talking about in the draft, is there anybody you've been looking at or anybody you think you have in mind that the Browns should go for? Because let's just be honest. This whole time from the start of our podcast, there was like 2 weeks where we didn't have any Browns football, right? I'm talking when we very first started to do this. We didn't know if there was going to be a season. We weren't sure. Don't cut yourself if we were going to do a thing or not. So now that there is a season, you were pretty much right about the whole thing. Like, all the way, step by step. You called out a lot of things. You made a lot of bold predictions, and basically nobody agreed with you. I mean, we're talking about all the way from Cleveland media to a lot of the fans to definitely ESPN, those sacks of people. Like, Coward, that guy's he's a waste of air. I don't know how he has a job. Like, I don't know how he sits behind a microphone. It's disgusting. But nobody really agreed with you, and now here we are. We did what we did. The predictions you made basically came true, and the way you were talking about running the ball, I mean, those were all things that needed to happen. Those are all things that did happen, and then here we are. Like, this is what we're doing. So do you have, make a prediction. Who do you want to see them take? Who do you think they should take?
Man, honestly, I'm a little fickle on college football right now in general.
Sure. I
mean, Ohio State goes to the national championship only playing 6 regular season games. I mean, crap like that.
Okay, well, time out. Come on. Ohio State, do you think they belonged there? We're going to jump subjects just for a second. You don't think Ohio State belonged there?
No.
Why? Because when they played 6 games?
Come on. When Alabama and the SEC are playing 10 games and you only play 6, why do you have the right to be there?
Because we're Ohio State.
Who did y'all play? Who did y'all play that was a great football team in the regular season, though?
Nobody.
Okay.
Nobody. And people did make predictions.
They're a great team. Ohio State's a great team. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But they didn't really work to be there.
I don't know.
I'm not saying they're
the
best team. I'm just saying they didn't work to be there.
Do you think that take a look at Bama, obviously. What it was boys playing with men. I mean, they destroyed us. Like,
honestly, I would have think the situation would have been reversed. I think if Clemson would have played Alabama, I think Clemson would have pulled it out.
You think
Clemson has Alabama number to me? Yes, I think Clemson plays Alabama very well. I mean, dude, they just know how to create mismatches with Alabama. They know how to spread the field out and create mismatches. Ohio State, I think they were just a bigger, aggressive team than Clemson was, and they just wore them out, dude. I mean, wore them out. But, I mean, that national championship game, though, that was a pretty bad game. I mean, it was. I mean,
no, it was bad.
Like I
You're
said,
right. It was bad. It wasn't good for. If you were an Ohio State fan, it was awful to watch. It was hard to watch. But I mean, and then of course, people from Cleveland are sitting there going, "Well, Ohio State lost, but the Browns are in. That was weird to say. Like, that was odd because normally it's the other way around. Normally Ohio State's doing what they got to do, and the Browns are sitting out. But this year it was different. The Browns took it, and they went far. So you haven't really been paying attention to any of the college football much just because of kind of the way things have been going.
Oh, it's just because it's not real to me anymore. Because, I mean, you'll play 3 or 4 games, and then all of a sudden somebody will get COVID, then you would sit out a game. Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know. It was like flag football, like when you're 7. You know, it's play one game one week, and the next week it's raining, so we don't play. I mean, it was just like a big letdown. Like, Arkansas didn't play a couple of games. I know and I mean, y'all's league, crap, somebody was sitting out every week, it seemed like. I mean, that's why y'all I mean, when did y'all even come in? Like early November or late October?
I think it was late October. I can't remember for sure. Cause I didn't really pay attention to bad. Like we were doing too many other things to watch. I didn't watch college football. You gotta remember, at one point in time, we were shooting the movie, trying to do the podcast, and a whole bunch of other stuff. I mean, it wasn't easy to try to figure out what we were doing.
No, it wasn't. But had a good time though.
Oh, I still love it. You know, hopefully the movie will be done being edited here soon.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Is that what,
that's what they told
what's
me.
that?
That's what they told me.
Yeah, I was trying to holler at Mark today, but you know how Mark is. He'll get back with you like once every 3 days because he's busy.
I know. I tried to call him yesterday too. He told me, he's like, "Oh, if you get another movie role, I'll help you." And then he just ghosted me. He doesn't talk. I'm not.
Well, no, he actually texted me 2 days ago.
Oh,
well, no,
not Peyton Hillis.
I mean, it was always business. It was always business, though.
Oh yeah, it wasn't just a hey, how are you? You don't call me either. Nobody talks to me anymore. That's cool. Movie's over. I'm just here. Anything else you want to talk about? Are you feeling sorry for yourself again? I was waiting for it. Good to have you back. Good to talk to you. All right, so they need to draft a tight end. What do they need to do on the defense side? Because that's what everybody's talking about. Everybody's talking about if the Browns' defense would have been a little bit better, we probably would have won more games and probably went a little further in. What do you think about that? Is that a true statement?
I mean, dude, there's a lot of holes on the defensive side of the ball.
What do you think about Sendejo? What do we do with him? Sendejo.
What's the talk right now with him?
I haven't heard anything. Other than the fact that he sucks. I mean, dude, he's horrible. Like, he's not a good player. Like, he's just not good. What do we do? Do we trade him, see if we can get a water boy or some towels? I mean, what are your...
I mean, I guess it really all depends on how his contract structured. I would like to see that. No, and then number 2...
Just make you sick.
I mean, dude, to me, man, like, to be completely honest, the defense is such a broad spectrum on what you're saying. Hey, what could we do in the draft? There's so many places. I mean, so many spots on the defense that I would want to change. I mean, yes. I mean, not because – I mean, obviously, man, they did great with what they had.
No, they did.
But, I mean, I just felt like they were never, ever truly consistent on the defensive side of the ball. And it was kind of like the opposite of the offense. Like when we played against a great team that was really good, the offense would never go up to snuff, but the defense always would come out. Right. And then we play against a bad team, the defense will fall apart and the offense will come out. I mean, it didn't matter if we played the Jets or the Giants or the Steelers. We'd always come within a couple of points, it seemed like. The Jags. I mean, it was always a close game.
Oh, yeah. No, you're not wrong. Real quick, though, let's talk Mayfield then. If we're not – I guess if there's not a whole lot you would change on the defensive side, let's talk Mayfield. He did it. I mean, in my opinion, he's our franchise quarterback, right? Is there any doubt about it at this point?
No, because here's the thing. We all know that Stefanski's going to be there now for a while. And if Stefanski's there, Baker needs to be there.
Absolutely.
I'm really excited about next year and obviously their relationship. Their relationship is 10 times far and beyond with him and the other coach he's been with. And
Kitchens? Nah, he had a good relationship with Kitchen. Didn't Kitchen sell him a car one time?
Yeah, but didn't he try to fight him when he went to Cincinnati?
I think so. Wasn't good.
But I'm looking at the pieces.
Sure.
And if we do draft anything, it needs to be first a dominant wide receiver or tight end. dude, we have the offensive line, we have the backs, we have the quarterback. Dude, our offensive line, I'm sorry, when we played against the Steelers that last game, it was unbelievable how they played. I mean, if I could give the game ball to somebody, it'd been the whole offensive line. I mean, that's the most dominant offensive line that the Browns have had in decades. I mean, they're that good.
I mean, which is kind of amazing. It's amazing to hear that. I mean, the Browns aren't a laughing stock anymore. I mean, that's weird to say. Do you know what I mean? Like that. I mean, they've never been a laughing stock to us, but we have had our issues. We've had our problems, but they're not a laughing stock anymore.
No, like here's the thing, man. This is like what kills me is that the Browns would be winning. People would talk trash on them from the news media, and the fans would still talk trash. And then we go deep in the playoffs, playing everybody very competitively, beating the crap out of teams, and still fans are like, well, next year they're going to lose again. Like if any other team would have done that, they'd been, oh, man, I can't wait till next year. The fans will be excited. I just think that the fans need to get in that positive frame of mind because I mean, honestly, man, the Indians, the way the Browns played this year, forget the Cavs, but I mean, dude, honestly, like I'm very excited. Well,
but I know what you're saying. I know what you're talking about. Like I get
dude, with the Lakers, man, it's just like it doesn't matter how good anybody does.
That is true.
And you know what I mean? Like to me, but it seems like the Indians are going to be in a great spot next year.
You think so?
From where we thought they were this past year.
They're better than
you know what I mean?
So, but that's the other thing. We'll talk baseball here in a minute. But when we traded Lindor and Cookie for a bag of socks and baseballs, that's an issue. Like that's bad. Like dude, the Dolans don't know what they're doing. Like I hate them. I despise the Dolans. They need to get the hell out of Cleveland.
You know they got money on the top somewhere.
Oh, where? Why? That's not going to trickle down. Dude, they couldn't pay him anything. Why, like, I don't understand. We traded Lindor for 3 people who had no idea they were playing baseball until they got the phone call that they got traded. And then you're dealing with, like, we had to sweeten the deal and give them Cookie? Like, I don't understand.
Okay, think about how much money they saved on the salary cap. Just with that then.
We're not going to do anything with it.
Exactly. They're going to keep it. I'm saying that's how they make money off the top, though.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Literally 3 players who the only reason we know they played baseball was because they were playing MLB The Show the day they got the call when they got traded. That's the 3 people we got.
As long as we have Bieber, man, I'm feeling good.
I'm worried about Bieber, though. They're going to trade because what happens if the Dolans want like an autographed Bernie Kosar card? They're gone. He's going to trade. They're going to trade Bieber in a second. Dude, the Dolans are horrible human beings.
That would be ignorance if they traded Bieber, but that's just my opinion.
We don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know what the Dolans are going to do. The Dolans don't know what the Dolans are going to do. It's horrible. But okay, so back to Mayfield, and then we'll talk MLB here shortly. But so back to Mayfield. He has I believe he's our franchise quarterback with Stefanski staying. Because you know he's going to stay. They're finally getting chemistry, and I think that's what has been missing in Cleveland for, 20-something years? I mean, you don't have your trading coaches, or not trading, but getting rid of them. You're finding coaches at used car dealership lots. I mean, and that's what we finally have Stefanski, who knows what he's doing, who has a good rapport with these guys. And then you have Mayfield finally stepping into a leadership-type role. All the way. He shut his mouth all last season. Like we said before, he didn't say anything in the offseason, kept his head down, didn't let the hype get to him, and then just came out firing on all cylinders. And yes, he did have some rough games, but I think a lot of that had to do with OBJ. As soon as OBJ was gone, he really came out firing on all cylinders. And look at how he matured into the role he has. He's definitely a franchise quarterback. He's our franchise quarterback.
I honestly thought that he handles pressure very well.
Yeah.
You know, it seemed like when there was not a lot expected from him, he wasn't doing very well. Right. And then when it had to be him towards the end, I mean, it was coming to that point where like people were about to bench him. You know, it seemed like, and then all of a sudden he picked it up. It was like either all or nothing for him, and that's the kind of guy you want, though. I mean, like I'm a big Baker Mayfield guy, and I mean, I think you can tell that.
Oh yeah.
When's the last quarterback that played for the Browns actually done anything like he's done this past year?
Right.
I mean, it's been a long, long time.
Oh yeah.
And so why want to get rid of that?
Horrible.
Especially his athletic ability. I'm sorry, man. I mean, for how he can throw the football on the run.
Oh yeah. No, you're right, and that's the thing is that
especially to his left.
Well, but you were on the bandwagon with Mayfield. I mean, you gave him mad credit throughout the whole time. Like you're not a bandwagon.
No, I mean,
friend, you know what I mean? Like
dude, think about him last year and the year before. I know that people said he really slowed down last year, but he's getting hit like every other play. Right. And the year before, freaking he was breaking records, like for game to game. And I mean, the thing is like he's played in 3 different systems now. And I mean, he was producing, but then you got to think who was around him, who was his coach, who was his offensive coordinator. Right. And now they bring in some people that actually know what they're doing. Look what he did. Look what he's done.
Huge turnaround.
I mean
huge.
You know what I mean? Like even like a Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, even a Breeze. I don't think they can play as many systems as Baker Mayfield can. I mean, pretty much Rivers and Peyton Manning and Breeze, I mean, they call their own plays. They set their own offenses up. Right. But, I mean, this guy right here, to me, is one of the most athletic and adaptable quarterbacks that are in the league by far. Right. To me, he is top 5 QBs in the league right now, bottom line.
Really? You think – wow, that's impressive. That's something you don't hear all the time, but I think a lot of people now in Cleveland would agree. He needs
Okay, I promise you right now, and you know that I'm a big Tom Brady guy because of who he is, not because of who he played for.
Right.
But, I mean, this guy right here, he goes from New England. Cam Newton comes to New England. They won 6 games. Yep. Did they not? That's what I said. They were going to win 6 games.
Yeah, it makes me mad. I was waiting for you to see that.
What's that?
I was waiting for you to put that together. You were right. You called it.
No, but then now look at the Buccaneers. Where they're at. Where are they at now, Keith?
Oh yeah, no, they're in.
Okay, but I'm telling you right now, if Tom Brady played for the Browns, he wouldn't have got the Browns near as far as Baker Mayfield. I'm sorry.
Really?
I'm sorry. I mean, if you got to think about it, Tom had to bring his guys in.
That's true.
I mean, he had to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he brought Gronk.
And don't get me wrong, they had a couple of dominant wide receivers in Tampa Bay anyway before he got there, but they never had a QB.
Right. No, you're right. That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, to me, honestly, man, I would take Baker Mayfield if I'm starting a new team.
Yeah.
Okay, here you go. What?
That's cute.
I actually want this game.
Okay, we'll play that game, baby.
But I don't
Look at you
okay.
being a dad over there.
Here, baby. Here.
The side of Peyton and Hillis we don't get to see all the time.
Yeah, shut up.
All right, sorry.
Here you go. What is going on here? How do you play this thing?
All right, let's take a quick break while you figure out. Is she asking you about electronics?
Yeah, isn't that sick?
That is. You need to call Tyler. Is that pink?
It's her iPad, dude. Leave me alone.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to jump into some MLB. And I guess I want to talk about the Patrick Mahomes hit, too, when we come back. But
Patrick Mahomes what?
The Mahomes hit. Dude, he got hit. He almost got knocked out. Like, dude, he looked bad. He looked rough for a second.
Dude.
You don't think he was concussed at all? Like, what happened to him?
Dude, I think he's a great dude. Yeah. And I think he's a great player. No doubt about it. But at a certain point, I was kind of hoping that he'd get hit.
Oh, he did.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Dude, he stood up and his legs started to, it looked like, I bet he stood up drooling. Like, dude, it was bad. Like, his legs were all off. It was not good. Looks like me when I'm trying to film the TV show and you guys make me do stuff I don't want to do. It's just bad stuff. All right, guys, we'll be right back. We'll come back, talk some MLB, get some more NFL stuff, and then we're going to have MC Nowak on just because it's going to be funny. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back
Hey,
to
how's
In the
your-
Backfield. Really? Really? I said, hold on. Like, and you waited like that. There was like, welcome back to In the Backfield with Peyton Hillis, Keith Migra. How's it going, man?
Man, doing great, man. It feels good to be back on the air again. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I bet. My mom said happy birthday. She wants you to give her a shout out. She's jealous. She hasn't talked to you in a while.
Miss Migra, I know you miss me, but I'll be over there at your house very, very soon. Okay.
Don't tell her that. She's gonna get all happy.
Isn't that the
My
point?
mom loves you. She loves you a lot. We got MC Nowak in the room. Look at that. He wheeled himself all the way over here, and he's in the downstairs. You should see how he did it. He crawled. He on his hands walked down the stairs. Legs flipped over. I caught him. Hillis threw him up, and now he's in his chair. He's here. MC Nowak. How's it
Nah,
going?
man, I put my wheelchair on my back like a fridge.
All right, so we got some stuff to talk about before we jump into the Cavs and MLB. What I wanted to get your opinion on Mahomes and everything. I know we kind of hit on it before the last break, but that last hit, do you think so? What do you think about Cowherd saying they should suspend the games until Mahomes is in perfect health to play? Do you agree with that?
It's probably the most ignorant thing I ever heard.
Thank you.
I concur.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, like, why? Like, that just shows like the favoritism that people have towards teams and players. I mean, to me, Mahomes is probably the best quarterback in the league. I mean, he is. I don't know. It's hard for me to go against Brady, but I mean, for what this guy has done over the past 2 years, I mean, especially his rookie year, I mean, making MVP. I mean, this guy right here is a spectacular athlete, QB. Heard he's a great guy, but until that hit, I've really never seen him get hit like that before. You know what I mean? I've really never seen him get hit like that before. And with those guys like that, they can move around all the time. They never have the opportunity where they can get hit that hard. I just never thought he would. But I'm glad that it did happen, just because the Chiefs are that team where everybody thinks their crap don't stink, and that, you know, they're going to go to the Super Bowl. And the way the Browns played against them, I mean, I really do. I mean, without that, I mean, if we just had that touchdown the first half, and the whole game would have changed, I believe.
Yeah. No,
But your defense came out and played great in the second half. And, dude, I think Baker played a hell of a game. I wish he'd ran the ball a lot more. But, I mean, overall, man, we could have won that game.
Yeah, no, I think we could have too. All right, so moving on to some MLB news. Actually, not MLB news. I guess there's some MLB into it, but I guess we should talk about the Francisco Lindor thing, because that hurt my soul a lot, like a lot. I mean, there's just so much that went on that wasn't acceptable.
If you're telling me that the Dolans could not foot out 1 year of $23 million, just you traded for peanuts, and they gave him a 1 year deal.
1 year deal.
1 year deal.
1
That's
year,
what you
$22
traded
million.
for 1 year. You mean tell me you couldn't keep that on the payroll for 1 year?
Doesn't that hurt your soul a little bit? What do you?
It's just
You weren't
ridiculous.
sold on Lindor anyways, right, Peyton?
No. I mean, the guy can't hit the ball. Fine. He's a great offensive or defensive shortstop. But, I mean, crap, when you had our bullpen out there, nobody ever hit anyway.
Oh,
Like, I
you're
could
gonna
have been
be
a great
so
shortstop.
mad.
That bullpen. What?
You're gonna be so mad. My mom clicked out of your shout out, and now you need to do all that over again.
Miss Migra, I know you're just playing, and you heard me the first time, but don't worry. I still want to come over and see you, okay?
She could have watched it on Restream. It'd have been fine.
Yeah, you watch it on Restream. Yeah, my mom.
So
doesn't
now she
know how
got
to
it
do She
twice.
clicked out.
Man, she knows exactly what she did. She's just going to watch it on Restream over and over and over again.
Her a shout out on my birthday. Is that what I'm hearing right now?
She knows she wished you a Merry Christmas. You didn't even send her a Merry Christmas back on Facebook. What is that about?
It's the Dolans. They did it.
Well,
That was rude.
I don't know. I get like, never mind. I'm not gonna get into that.
Oh no,
Never
go
mind.
ahead, go
I
ahead.
mean,
What, Mr. Famous Popular Guy gets way more messages than everybody else.
No, dude. I'm not a big tech guy. You know that. So me on Facebook, what it usually takes people. Ron, I saw that face. Forget you, dude. Like literally, when I'm on Facebook, what usually takes people like 2 minutes to do, it takes me like 10. And then like if I'm on there for 30 minutes, I usually like write 3 messages, and that's about it.
Well, let's be real here. Mr. Migra is not exactly as savvy as everybody else too. He's got a Tyler that comes around with him everywhere he goes, and he hands his phone to him like, "Dude, I don't know what to do with this. Here, take
I
this."
can't help it, Ryan. I'm not a robot. I can't help it.
Well,
I barely know what I'm doing. I barely know how to get onto this.
That's why you have a Tyler.
I do have. Yeah, I have a Tyler. He has an Arkansas Tyler. Same thing.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So the Dolans suck. We know that. So listen to this though. You said you think the Indians are going to be in a little bit of a better situation this year than we were last year. Why? I got to hear why.
I mean, honestly, I didn't think we had the depth in the bullpen last year until we actually started playing. And then the guys that I thought were good were going off to Detroit and getting COVID. And then we got rid of them, and I'm thinking, man, this is not going to be good. And then we bounced back and even had a better bullpen, in my opinion.
We did.
I mean, I just think we had we had a lot of depth in the bullpen, and our bats came alive in the end when they should have. And I mean, I think everything was a perfect storm. But
hey, Tyler, we're talking MLB, not Browns. Can you do your job? Thanks, buddy.
What's that?
Tyler's just sitting there sleeping. I don't know what he's doing. All right, go ahead.
No, but I'm like Ryan. I wish we'd have done something with that money we got from Lindor and put it somewhere.
Well,
but
did you see this? This is the most ridiculous thing ever. We got rid of Corey Kluber for a reason. It's because after his arm injury, he wasn't the same Corey Kluber. He didn't come out there and pitch like he should have. But then all of a sudden we're at a camp in Florida watching him. Why? What is the purpose of that? We don't want Kluber back, and it's not because I don't think he's great or I definitely don't want him at the Yankees, but he is. But is he really that good of a player that?
No, Dolan's like the bargain bin.
But I mean, they're old. These guys are past their
But that's
prime.
exactly what it is. Well, look, Giambi, there was a bunch of players. They're always the bottom bin. They'll get guys in there and hope that they got maybe a half a year in them.
Oh.
Isn't that what the Indians have always done, though?
Always.
I mean,
it's a sad.
It's a quadruple A farm team for the MLB. That's all it is.
It is. It's a sad day for baseball.
hey, they're one of the best daggum farm teams I've ever seen.
Well, that's why all the players go everywhere else. The Yankees are just picking them.
They are, and the thing is, Yankees always take our scraps. Always. What do you think about Bauer? You think Bauer's going anywhere? The National League Cy Young winner. You know who Bauer is? You remember him a long time ago? It wasn't that long. It was last year. You think we need to look at
talking about Dodgers?
Comment, honestly, I'm not a big Bowers fan.
No, Bauer's a punk. I didn't like Bauer's when he was here. He likes to start Twitter wars. And do I think he's a good pitcher? Yeah. Do I think he's one of the best that we had? No, I don't. I think.
Is he like Shane? I just don't think he's Shane to me. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could see.
What do you think, Ron?
I mean, he is who he is. I mean, I'll give him that. He does exactly what he does, and he's a good enough pitcher. I mean, like he could go anywhere, and when he's on, you can't touch him.
No, he's on fire.
He's got a when he's on, he's on.
Yeah, but he's not as consistent.
No,
to me,
definitely not. No, he's.
You know what I mean?
He's not.
No, that's what I said. When he's on, he's on. And that last year that he was with the Indians and everything like that stretch that he was doing, he was Cy Young candidate, going. And then they put him in the Reds, and we didn't hear much about him because he was at the Reds, but he had a good year with the Reds. I mean,
he did have a
for all things. Yeah, so I mean, he could go pretty much if somebody wants to pay him. I mean, you're going to get a solid, maybe not an ace, but I mean, a back end of your rotation. I would say that I would spend money on him. I wouldn't spend an exorbitant amount of money on him, but if you can take the things that come with him, you have that, then I mean, you got a solid pitcher. That's how I look at it.
I mean,
yeah,
he's solid. He's solid. I give him that. I don't know. Like if the Indians spend any money at all, you know, I want them to try to give it a guy with the stick. And I don't
gotta get a stick.
What's that?
And we got to, because our bullpen's fine. Our starting rotation's fine, at least on paper. If it continues where it came from last year, we're good.
Well, no, but I mean,
If we're in a 2-run game, perfect.
No, do we even have one guy that, in your opinion, though, bottom of the ninth, Game 7 of the World Series, and it's a full count, and you're just confident this guy's gonna get a base hit? Is there anybody you have that much faith in right now?
Ramirez.
J-Ram, the only one.
Jose Ramirez. Yeah, J-Ram, absolutely.
He's clutch.
I think we needed to build a team around J-Ram a long time ago. And it's because we knew Lindor was going to be on his way out. We know we secured J-Ram for X amount of years. We also know that he is slow to start sometimes, but once he gets hot and he stays hot. And he takes that. He carries a team. But now that Lindor is gone, you're going to have to look at J-Ram as the face of the team. He is now the face of the Indians, and he knows it. The players know it. And then you have Shane Bieber, who's going to be right there.
You don't think Shane Bieber's the face of the team?
No, I don't. With Kluber,
I'd say I think it's 1A and 1B.
Yeah,
like if you got J-Ram, obviously the stick is, that's the big thing. That's what puts butts in the seats, et cetera, et cetera. But 1A, 1B. If you look at the Indians, especially now that you let Lindor go, when you look at the faces, you're looking at Bieber, you're looking at J-Ram.
Yeah,
that's it.
100%.
Because they don't even know who the rest of the people are.
Well, no, because we got rid of a lot. We got rid of everybody. It was a fire.
Well, to me, Bieber was the best player in Major League Baseball last year. To me.
Oh yeah, dude. Look at the records he broke. Think of what's gonna happen. Think about what would have happened if it wouldn't have been a COVID season.
Dude, he would have won 30 ball games.
Yeah, easily, 100%. Absolutely, he would have been. And that's just, and think about, again, now we're going in there saying they're going to play a full season next year. They're talking about having fans in attendance and all this other crap. But I really want you to think about what would happen if he would have went the distance. He would have, he already won X amount of things. Like, he's great, you know what I mean? But now put him in that situation where he does have, 164 games to get ready for. He does have the capability to being rested at some times. And they're going to put him in there. Dude, we have a good chance. Bieber, he when he's on the mound, I'm comfortable we're going to win that game.
I think he'll lead the league as long as he stays healthy. He'll lead the league in strikeouts.
Healthiness is always a problem in Cleveland.
Yeah, that's always the issue, being healthy.
That's another thing with Bieber, though. He's been consistent.
Yep.
In the past years. He's always been consistent. Not near as consistent as he was last year, but he's been very consistent. And that's why I like him. I want a guy that I can depend on every time I put him on the mound.
Right.
And I just didn't think Bowers, he's not up there to me, but I guess you wouldn't put them in the same league at this point.
I don't think I would. I think if you're looking at from a pitching standpoint, look at what Shane has done and look at what Bowers has done. I think Shane is the better pitcher. I think Shane gets picked up. Like if it was a situation where you have to, you basically have to pick one or the other who's going to start for you. I think Shane gets the nod way before Bowers does almost every time by any team, right? that's the only thing that makes sense. I don't think Bowers can compete with Shane.
I don't know. He can. A couple of years ago, probably.
A couple of years ago, when he first came out and he didn't have this. You want to talk about egos destroying people? His ego, he became a problem in the locker room. That was true. Just look at how he got traded. He probably wouldn't have got traded if he wouldn't have turned and threw the ball to center field. He couldn't hit the strike zone. It was his fault, his problem. And he threw a hissy fit because they wanted to take him out of the game. You can only let a pitcher battle for so long before you have to make the move to take him out. He took the move, threw the ball over the wall, then cried like a little baby. That's a temper tantrum. You know what I mean? That's like something you would expect from I don't know, not him. I wouldn't expect it from anybody on the Indians, but he sure proved me wrong on that one. And I'm not saying he didn't give us good years because he did.
Would you compare him to Odell Beckham?
Yes, actually, I sure would. Yeah, he is the Odell Beckham of baseball. Yeah, he thought, and I'm not saying Odell Beckham isn't a good player either because he
actually,
is.
I'd probably put it the other way. I think, according to at least locker room talking things like that, I think Odell's a better teammate than Bauer.
You think Odell? You think so?
I think more people in the locker room like Odell than they like Bauer.
Oh yeah,
I can see that.
Definitely.
I can see that being a thing. But when you have that big of a head. And you're, and again, Bowers was great. Don't get me wrong. He pitched fantastically when he wasn't being a little baby, when he wasn't having Twitter wars with other people, and when he wasn't fighting with the commissioner, and when he wasn't arguing with all these players. Yeah, he absolutely was a fantastic pitcher. But you have to, at some point in time, just like we said with you are really close. You look like
No, I'm sorry. I'm Kind of screwed up the list because all these kids are crying right now.
It's okay. It's all right. Just we got a lot of Peyton. When you look
also
at,
avoid getting in a fight with a drone during the World Series. That'd probably be another thing.
that's
you should probably
it.
stay
He
away
was
from.
an idiot. Like he did really stupid. He made really dumb decisions. Like really.
Because that
dumb
was at the
decisions.
height. That was at the height when he was on fire.
Yeah, but y'all remember when how Nolan Ryan was though, right?
Oh, that was a different era.
Nolan Ryan was just as bad, dude.
He was covered
Oh,
in
yeah.
blood. Yeah, but that's what I remember. Nolan Ryan got beat in the face, just dripping with blood, and still came out and pitched and won. Bauer had a cut on his finger, but he was like bleeding everywhere. You know what I mean? Like he was just soaked in blood, and they stopped the game. I don't know why it was bad.
Who was it? I thought it was it. He was with Boston.
Kurt
and
Schilling.
His ankle, who was it?
Kurt Schilling.
Yeah, Schilling. You know, he had a little blood on his ankle, and everybody said, "Man, I can't believe."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
I
he
was
had
like, dude,
he had
that's
surgery on a tendon or something in his ankle and whatever, and he still pitched and stuff like that. And
I mean, don't get me wrong. I thought Schilling, Kurt was a badass. I did.
Oh, he
like
is.
he was,
Yeah.
and he was tough, and he always presented himself as this upstanding guy.
Sure.
But I just remember that happened. I was like, dude, I don't know. But wasn't they playing the Yankees though? Was that the reason why it was such a big?
I think
deal?
it was. I think it was the ALCS. I think that's what it was.
That's what. Yeah, you're right, Brian. You're right. I remember it now.
That's why they kept focusing in on it and zooming in, be like, "Oh, the bloody sock." Didn't they sell that bitch on charity? Didn't they?
Yeah.
Didn't they? How much
Yeah.
did they sell? They sold some ridiculous amount of money.
Dude, the thing about Nolan Ryan though, like that dude whooped some butt as much as he got whooped though. He always, he always give it more than he would take it. I thought.
That's because everything's big in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, including injuries.
Is he still on the Rangers or part of the Rangers?
Who?
I don't think so. Me might be. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
I thought he did, but I could be lying. But
It's a possibility.
Ryan, I'm going to ask you this question, and I'm sorry, I'm hopping over back to the Browns, but I just want to get your opinion on it.
It was against the Blue
Like-
Jays. It wasn't against the Yankees.
Okay.
It was
But-
it was game 3. It was against the Blue Jays.
Did I was telling Keith at the start of the show that the Browns game against the Chiefs reminded me a lot of the '87 AFC when Biner fumbles the ball.
Yeah, I was listening. Yeah.
And I remember I was actually underneath him a while at Tampa when I went there for training camp a few years back. And he would always tell us how that game affected the rest of his life with depression. Like he went into it. And then that game for like 15 to 20 years after that hunkered him down with depression. He was so upset. Because he knew that he kind of lost in the game. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he saw in the documentary Believe Land. They went back before and they documented all the hurt basically in Cleveland when it all came up, leading up to when the Cavs won the title. And they had an interview with him, and he was talking through the documentary about how he felt like he let the city down and all those things, and was in tears. And then they showed a part where the Cleveland fans sent him a bunch of notes and letters and called in, told him that they forgave him, that he was the best, and all this other stuff. But okay, go ahead.
No, but I mean, whenever that happened right before halftime, that's exactly what popped in my head.
Oh yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, only this can happen to Cleveland. You know what I mean?
Keith was there. Keith heard every word that came out of my mouth. I rolled my wheelchair. I was sitting in front of the television, losing my collective mind.
Dude, but I was also telling Keith, like, since he fumbled the ball, the ref wasn't even looking at helmet to helmet. And then, if there was more than one side judge there, like it would have been called. You know what I mean? And we'd have had on the 1 yard line, and it'd have been no problem.
Or if you have an option, again, if you got a guy sitting in the booth, this is one thing that in college that they look at, and then they look at that targeting call and just say, if it looked like it, then we should take a look at it, especially something that obvious, because it was apparent.
Well, I don't understand if they go back and review it, how come they wouldn't review the whole play? I mean, it kind of sucks though that, they're only going to review the play that they called, but if they see something else, they should say, hey, this should happen.
Right. But I mean, I guess off the top of that though, I mean, just like I said, because like in a sequence like that, I mean, it's bang, bang, and it happened. You're looking at the ball, but clearly it was a helmet to helmet. The helmet is what made him fumble.
Yeah.
He didn't touch that ball. He knocked him for a loop to where he's going to let the ball go. You got to try to make the play. So, I mean, Higgins did everything he was supposed to do. He was trying to get there. And to have it end like that, and then you come down the line, again, hindsight's 20/20, you're looking at the end and you say 24-22. That there's the gap that was saying, and momentum was lost. You're going in, it's just that downward spiral. It just you just want to turn back time and go, this is going to happen.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No, I mean, it's just about, I don't know. It's always something about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I mean,
it's always like you get in the important games and you look for the Browns and you're looking for that one thing, like with Pittsburgh, like it was one of those games where everything went right.
Yeah.
Everything was turning our way, which did not happen very often in the history of the Browns.
Well, no, I was thinking the same thing with the Titans game. I mean, we're up like 3 touchdowns with like 2 minutes to go, and they almost like came back and won. I mean, Beck tries to go for a first down, fumbles the ball, scoop and score. I mean, it's just things
one time. You have to talk to Keith. One time, you got to come and watch a football game with me and watch what I do during this entire game.
He almost walks. You should see him. He jumps up high, man. He tried to catch up. I had to tell him, dude, you can't do that. You're gonna pull your hamstring. I don't want him to get injured.
No. But I mean, I was really going back watching the '87 AFC Championship game, and we had two fumbles. If we'd had challenges back then, they never would have fumbled.
Never would have happened.
I mean, never would have happened.
It never really. Again, the game of inches. It's always the game of inches.
Brian Brennan,
one call, just
like he had a fumble where literally both of his knees were on the ground and his elbow. And I forgot who on the Broncos knocked it out when he was like falling to the ground. But I was like, dude, he had 3 points of pressure on the ground. They should have called that, but they didn't have challenges, man.
No, they don't have challenges. They have anything. Shit, but back then, you could pick a quarterback up and throw him on his head, and it was fine.
I actually missed those days, really. I remember when those days ended, and it ended with Brady. Like,
oh no, the big one ended with Bradshaw. That was when it was in the 70s.
Bradshaw?
Yeah,
Really?
Bradshaw. It was, I think it might have been Lawrence Taylor that did it. Picked him up, turned him over, and just pile drive him in the ground. Broke his collarbone and everything. So that's when they started looking at it a little bit more. And then that's when you went into the Tuck rule, Brady, and all that other shit.
Well, see, I remember they were playing against Miami. It was like 08 or 09. And that's where Brady tore his ACL. Like, I think it was the first game of the year. But, like, the guy was just crawling to get him. And Brady threw it, but he couldn't see him, and he just hit his leg.
And that's when he pushed his leg and hyperextended it.
I'm like, what is happening to football, man?
Yeah,
like
that's where they went for. Now you can't go for the legs.
WWE.
They touch him in the head.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't throw a flag with Mahomes, really. I know that he still had the ball at point, but, like, I don't know.
I was surprised because I saw it, and then I saw him get wobbly. I'm like, oh, no, they're going to throw a flag. It's over. They're going to throw a flag. But then going back at it, I mean, the hit was clean. It's just the roll. That's where that you see the roll, and I'm looking, and I'm trying to find it. And I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just how his hand was, and he turned his head, and maybe he just turned it too far, and that's what kind of got his equilibrium messed up, and he couldn't – I don't know what it was or what it – but, I mean, it didn't look like he hit his head on anything.
Dude, if I was
he looked
NFL
messed
football,
up, though. He walked up.
When he got – yeah, for sure. He caught the stanky leg. He was getting up and just wobble.
Well, I mean, like, you ever notice when the quarterback's scrambling and it looks like he's going toward the sidelines, like players are just not even trying to hit him. They're like, I'm just afraid to hit him.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Like, it's like you got to line him up because if he falls one way or turns one way and you hit him this way, you're done. And you got to, like, make sure you're keeping your head up. But yet, when you're keeping your head up and you're trying to run at him, you can't make a fast action, a fast move.
Dude, that's why Vic had such a big year with the Eagles a few years back because of that. Because, I mean, that guy was scrambling. He was running. People didn't know if they could hit him or not. He looked like he did in 2003, 2004. I mean, that dude was running around people. He was
well, that's like Lamar Jackson now. I mean, it's basically the second coming. The way he moves around the field, that's crazy.
Yeah, but
who do you think is better, Peyton, Lamar or Baker?
Much, man, I don't see. Like when you run the option, I don't see how you even take that guy as a quarterback at that point.
Hey,
Run
Lamar
read
Baker.
option. I don't care.
Yeah.
Shush.
What?
Over there, tiny window guy. Lamar or Baker?
Baker.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lamar.
yeah. Baker.
Dude, Lamar
For a minute.
will be done in 2 or 3 years.
You
He's a
think?
hell of an athlete, but something like that, he's
So
just.
when you run that much, you get hit
Yeah.
that much, man, it takes a toll. I know. Trust me.
What I'll say is that you're
Did you
just
play?
basically you got a quarterback as a running back. So I mean,
You
yeah,
play in
you're
high school a lot?
Yeah, right.
All right, hey,
I wish I'd have
the,
known
the,
what it
the
was like
Zoom
running
meeting
around.
is coming to an end, so we're gonna have to real quick, Kaz. Though before we go, hold on a second, Kaz, because this is something Tift is coming on too. So you're gonna get to talk to Tift for me. He wants to make a cameo. He missed you, man. Tift has been missing you a lot.
No, Tiff's one of the best dudes I've ever met. That dude right there is a really good dude, man.
He is. Love
He
him to
really
death.
is.
Kaz, what do you think about the Cavs? Ryan, you watched it. We talked about it. Sexton went nuts. He went off. It was
Oh, yeah.
awesome. Took it
Hey,
to double
he's-
overtime.
He said the most cold-blooded shit
He did.
to Kyrie.
He
He
did.
This was a quote from KD. He said he came in the locker room, went past KD, went past Harden, went up to Kyrie, tapped him on the leg, and says, "Lace him up. It's gonna be a long effing night," and walked out.
Dude, how awesome is
And
that?
then went off. Dude
Ma-
scored
made me
42
happy.
points, season high. He outscored the Nets team 20-8 in double OT. And prior to that, he's the one that shot the three to force
To force, yep.
a second overtime.
It was a good game. It really was. Watching
Dude.
it.
I mean, we had seven guys in double figures.
Yeah. Well, I think
I
Cavs are
mean,
7-7. Can't complain about it.
No, I just with the Lakers, man. It's like
Oh, they got a long way to go. They're a young team, but I mean, this is watching them now, and they're playing team basketball. They're playing way better defense than they did last year.
Yeah.
I think they got the coach that they need to be able to take them. But yeah, no, but the pieces are coming together, and they're very young.
dude,
And-
NBA and defense just doesn't click with me at all. I don't.
Well, it's
they don't play. They don't play
well.
defense to the playoffs.
No, they
Yeah,
should.
they don't play. Well, again, it's kind of like the NFL. The NBA does the same thing. They made the rules,
Huh.
and it pushes to that point of it's offense.
I think Shaquille O'Neal is what changed the whole game, man.
Oh yeah, because you can't stop him. You can't, he was a god. You
Yeah.
can't. What are you gonna do?
can't-
He's 7'2", 300 pounds, bringing the ball up the court, running this dude down, looking at him. What are you gonna do? He's going to mash you.
I'm just
It's
gonna have
over.
that one idiot go out there and take his leg out, let him shoot free throws.
That was the problem though. His leg's a tree. It's a trunk. He tried to hit the leg. He just kicks him. Boom.
Golly, man. That dude.
He's just a oh.
All right,
Now,
guys, let's take
could
before,
Kobe have been Kobe without Shaq?
before everybody gets cut off, let's take a break. Yeah?
Whatever you want, Keith.
It's your
God,
it's
you
your
made me
world,
so
man. I'm
mad.
just
We're
living
just
it.
living it, baby.
Oh, that made me so bad. Make sure you follow Peyton at the Peyton Hillis on Twitter. Follow me at Keith Miger1 on Twitter. Follow Ryan at MC Nowalk, which is epic. Follow him on Twitter. Not that. You're not a that. You're a human. Just a half of one. We still love you though.
Yeah, have a one, got wheels, you know.
All right.
I walks around now, I get it. Boom.
Follow him on Twitter. We'll be right back. When we come back, we're gonna have the first athlete, right? Is it Tift or no? For youngest owner, I guess, in NASCAR, and then we're gonna have a real athlete on, Matt Tift. It's gonna
Oh,
be
real
fun.
quick, Peyton, which one? I got Packers Bills Super Bowl. What you got?
Ooh,
Dude, I'm gonna have to go with Bucks. Dude, I'm sorry, I can't go against.
I know you can't go against Brady, but
Dude, I mean, them beating the
10.
Saints to me, man, that changes the game for me. I mean, honestly. And then if the Bills can make it, man, I want that to happen. I just don't know if they can get past Kansas City, dude. I just don't know.
I think it's gonna be a good game. I definitely think that. I think both of them are gonna be really good games.
I do
Looking forward to
too.
football this weekend.
I do too, but I hope
What's
it's
up, Josie?
He say hello.
Where's Josie?
Say hello.
I didn't see
Say hello.
Josie. Oh, there she
She's a little shy.
She's not shy.
Oh, when she's on camera, she's shy.
Yeah,
In the right
camera
way.
she's shy.
Good, keep it that way. All right, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Life in the Fast Lane with Matt Tift with our special guest, Peyton and Hillis. Oh, my bad. This one's in the backfield with Peyton and Hillis with special guest Matt Tift.
Literally every episode, Keith says the wrong show on there, so I love it. Thank you.
I can't help it. How's it going, man? I haven't talked to you in 2 days.
I know. It's been like 30 minutes. You text me every freaking 5 minutes. So
man, I talk to you every day. Oh, are you serious? I text you all the time? You send me gifts of SpongeBob.
I send you gifts of other stuff too, but you like it. You respond back with laughing in your ass off all the time.
I said 2 days. Really, Matt? I talk to you every single day.
I know you do. Okay, but anyways, all right. So, as we know, today is a very special day that only comes around once a year. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Former Running Back. Happy birthday to you.
Dude, Mariah Carey, eat your freaking heart out.
That was Marilyn Monroe. That was Marilyn Monroe to the president.
It wasn't bad.
I thought it was good. This is why the TV show is going to be nuts.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
So,
That's
Matt,
all I wanted to come on the show for.
I didn't think you were going to be able to make it.
I didn't think so either, but I made it, so I'm here.
You did. That's good. That's good.
Got to make my time worth it.
He said, "Oh yeah, is that a fact?" So what? All right. So you're in here. So let's kind of jump into some. I guess the Browns. Well, me and you talk about the Browns on the other show, and then you're talking. You know, I don't know if Hillis knows about your team and everything, but I don't. Did you watch our show or no, Peyton?
I watched it one time.
When did you watch it?
That's
What
50%.
day and what time?
No, it was on Apple iTunes. Apple iTunes.
Apple iTunes. There you go. All right. So with Tift coming back, you were kind of taking a hiatus from popping it. What are you laughing at? What? I know, and he knows that. Sorry, Tyler's making fun of you. He called you out. That's okay.
What is that?
He said it's not on iTunes yet. It's not.
Whatever it is, dude. I forgot who sent it to me.
You can literally name any other podcast hosting service and have been right. You said the one we're not on.
No.
It was on Google Play with your Android. I get it.
What are you talking about?
Oh,
he doesn't know what that is yet. They're still on the Motorola Razors down there.
You're right.
Dude,
he had a flip phone up until last week.
I'm turning into my dad, man. I'm turning into my dad.
Are you?
Like my dad would get on the computer. He's like, Carrie, how do you work the internet machine?
The internet machine. Oh my gosh! All right, so let's
you got to go on the line.
Let's talk some football real quick. Who do you got going to the Super Bowl? Both of you.
Dude, like I said before, I ain't gonna never doubt Tom Brady. So I have the Bucks, and I was like Ryan. If the Bills can make it, great. If I don't see how they beat Kansas City, I think it's Kansas City and Bucks.
Kansas City and Bucks. Who do you got, Tift?
Of who's going to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Well, I sure as hell know I'm not going until somebody pays me more to go down there.
No, you're going. Do you watch the football?
Oh, you're talking about teams. Oh, okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I want Tom to go one more time because I feel like it's getting close to the end. So it's in Tampa Bay.
They said that 10 years ago, Tiff.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about your and my careers in professional sports.
I heard that.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
What?
Brief.
Very small.
No, you guys had great careers. You were on the cover of Madden, and there's a Hot Wheel after you. Go-kart?
Dude, like
Isn't there a go-kart named after you? Did you have a go-kart like
I got a
North
go-kart.
Original?
Medina. Yes, Medina. Yeah, high voltage card. Go there. Okay, so for real, I want the Bucks to go, but I feel like it's going to be Green Bay, and I absolutely do want the Bills to go. What's the deal with Mahomes? I hadn't seen what happened. Is he cleared yet or no?
No, he's still in
That's
concussion
tough.
protocol, but they let him practice. Minimal practice. It was, I think, no contact.
Okay. Well,
But it's like, do they make him sit out a game now, or is it just a few days?
I think it's just a few days. I don't know. I think he's going to be back.
Steve-
I'm pretty sure he's going to be back.
that was the debate, though, because on TV they're saying they have to sit out 2 weeks. So
Really?
I don't know what the actual protocol is. But I mean, it could be severity of it. I mean, I know they use independent neurologists or whatever, but obviously that's way different than it used to be. So who knows?
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to do with him. I mean, again, you got Coward saying that they shouldn't even let him play, or they shouldn't even have a game until Mahomes is at full health.
Coward. Never mind.
No, go ahead.
I'm not
Go
going to go
ahead.
down the road.
We don't like. I hate that man. So go ahead. Say what you got to say.
I do
your
too.
piece.
Okay.
Say your piece.
He was the one who said that Sam Darnold with Adam Gase was going to be a playoff contending team too. So let's get this straight.
Right.
He's
a jackass.
I don't know, man. The Rams, though, I think they got taken out way too early. I don't see how they lost. I mean, that was a surprising upset to me. I don't know about y'all, but that was bad.
What about the Bills? Isn't anybody here Bills fans? Like, I want the Bills to go. Like, it's Bills Mafia,
I want the
man.
Bills to go just because offensive coordinator and Dayball. I want him to go just because of that.
We're the Lake Erie
Because
brothers. That's what we are. Bills. I mean, they're on the Erie. We gotta like them. It's the Bills Mafia. Come on, you gotta root for the Bills. I'm not a Brady fan. Though.
You know,
I never have been.
I like Tom, but I feel like I don't know if you guys remember.
I feel like you guys are on first name basis with this guy. I like Tom. Well, back when I played, when he gave me the game ball, I just didn't have a lot of respect for him that day. It's just, I don't know. I feel like we dog walked him, so I don't have a lot.
Dude, he's the greatest player of all time.
So is LeBron James, but he's still a pompous ass.
No, are you kidding me?
Oh, not this again.
Dude,
Okay, Michael Jordan. So is Michael Jordan. He's
I'm not going to go with this GOAT crap. I'm not going to start that. I'm not even going to start.
Did you
I'm not
just
going
say
to start.
goat
We need to
crap?
move on. Or not, I'm not.
The
I'm
GOAT?
not.
Who's the GOAT of all time?
In basketball?
Yeah. Jordan, right?
Kareem.
Man,
Yeah.
Kareem's up there. I mean,
That poll that you posted on Twitter is really catching up some steam.
oh, yeah.
No, it is. It is. The poll that's on there, like, I think the majority of the people took Jordan over LeBron. Even there was a few.
They did.
Did they? Did you watch it? Are you
Yeah.
looking?
I'm just going to get ticked off when we start talking about this. I'm not going to talk about it.
There's only
What
there's
about
10 minutes left.
What about Wilt Chamberlain? Wilt Chamberlain dropped 102 points. I mean, nobody's ever going to do that again.
No,
That's pretty.
Wilt Chamberlain was like double what. I mean, it was just a man amongst boys when he played. To me,
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. There's so many people yelling. I can barely hear y'all. I'm sorry,
Sorry.
but
They're more popular.
That's just the voices inside your head. We can't hear
Yeah,
anything.
we don't hear anything. There are people in there?
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think Magic Johnson gets enough credit. I mean, honestly,
Magic
I
Johnson?
don't think Magic Johnson gets enough credit.
You think he's up there? But, dude, Michael Jordan had
Magic
63% of the vote. LeBron James only had 37 of your poll.
Say that again?
So Michael Jordan had 63%. LeBron James only had 37%. Out of 674
LeBron James
votes.
LeBron James makes so many daggum enemies because he goes to another team every 3 years.
Well, and he
That's
talks,
fair,
And
yeah.
and he talks a lot of crap.
Like, how does anybody in Cleveland like that dude anymore, though?
We don't.
I mean, really,
We don't.
I mean-
we don't like him. You can't be a Cleveland. You can't.
you leave twice. I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, totally.
What? Go ahead, Matt. Say your piece.
No, just go back and watch my podcast because we discussed this. So go watch Life in the Fast Lane podcast. Screw this one.
Touche. Touche.
Wow. I like it. All right, so let's talk about something we haven't talked on the other podcast, Life in the Backfield. We need to
Peyton's hair's back.
Oh, is that not the right one? Life in the
No, he
Backfield.
said take hairs back. I've been trying to grow it, dude. It ain't gonna grow back.
Your hair?
I don't-
That's what happens when you're 40.
All right, dude. I ain't gonna get into this either. But go ahead.
I'm not- I don't know.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying. All right, so now we got that out of the way. What do you think of the Cavs? Because I mean, you guys don't really watch basketball, so I guess we should talk. What you want to talk about? Cavs? You want to talk? Let's talk about NASCAR. How's the Daytona gonna work? What's gonna happen? Are we allowed to talk about that? It's a different show.
How's it gonna work? We're gonna go around
Say
the track.
something smart, because
200
I'm gonna
times.
talk about left turns, buddy. Say something smart.
I know. We're going to go around the track 200 times. I have a car in it, the number 78 car.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to announce a sponsor in like a week or two. It's going to be freaking sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do that. And then in the meantime, we're going to wreck about half the field. We should destroy, normally on average, we destroy about $2 million worth of cars in that race. So you should see about $2 million worth of wrecked equipment. So that's what you can expect. And it's awesome. So go watch it. Go drink a beer and watch cars wreck and go fast. It's fun.
I'm going to watch that. You going to watch the Daytona 500? Peyton?
I don't know. I was never a real NASCAR fan, but now that Tiff has a dog in the race, I probably have to watch it now.
You have to at least watch his.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Like I know somebody in it now, so I'm gonna watch it.
Well, I'll bring you guys out when we can all go out there, and I'll show Keith that he loves it. Then he's gonna go back to everybody on his team, and he's been wearing, instead of his pink shirt he wore the other day, that real man wore pink. He's gonna be wearing my crew stuff. He's gonna be ordering shirts. He's gonna be my number one customer. It's gonna be great.
Dude, if he didn't have that red Indian sweatshirt and then that one, he wouldn't have anything to wear.
I don't think he has anything
You want
else
to
to
talk
wear.
about the same damn green shirt with the cutoff collar you wear all the time? I'm surprised you're not wearing it right now.
Why are you checking me out, Keith?
No, oh yeah, you get to
Why are
make
you
fun of
checking
me.
me out, Keith?
Get to make fun.
Someone likes the birthday boy.
Yeah, I know. I heard that.
Oh my god, what do you guys want to talk about? There's only like 10 minutes left. We can talk about anything you want. Talk about movies, Matt. You want to mix the two shows in?
I have nothing to talk about right now because nobody gave me a script.
Nobody gave us a script. You don't need a script.
Then why do you keep sending them to me?
Because
If you lose your train of thought, Matt, come on.
thank you.
He's
You talk
the only
100
one
miles
here
an
that-
hour. That's why. We have to calm you down. This is how Matt opens up the show. Welcome to Life in the Tafflin. We're going to be trying to talk about some stuff here. That's why I had to give you a script. You sound like you're a freaking Tech 9 trying to spit out a rap.
Well, I don't know who's going to put the podcast in 0.5 on your iTunes podcast that you don't have or something. They can slow the speed down.
Throw that back out there.
Hillis is the only one that has listened to us on iTunes. That's awesome.
No, I swear I listened to your show. Okay, somebody copied it and they emailed it to me, and I watched it. I didn't watch it. I heard it.
Who
But
the
you only done
hell
two
would
shows.
email that? That's a lot of. Why wouldn't they just share it?
Because if I told you who did it,
Never mind.
never mind.
Never mind.
Don't worry about it.
Never mind. Never mind. You're right.
I feel
Never
like
mind.
Hill-
Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about.
I feel like
something
Hillis
else.
is. All right. I
gotta
feel like
be
Hillis is the
kidding
guy who
me.
has a Hotmail.
All
account, so.
right.
Is it what? What'd you say?
I'm going to change it to put it to Hillis has a Hotmail account. I think he's one of those guys still.
God dang.
We got to
Let's
save
talk
Keith.
about
He's about to
anything
lose
else.
it.
I had
Talk
dial up.
about anything else.
He got broadband.
It took me a minute, but I figured out what you were talking about.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Really? Really, I listened to it on iTunes. So somebody emailed you the iTunes thing that didn't work.
Okay, I just said iTunes. I didn't know where I sort of freaking got it from. I'm sorry. I'm not a tech guy.
I'm not a tech guy.
Forgive me.
Did you win a free Nano too?
I'm so freaking tired of this. Stab somebody.
He doesn't even know what a nano is. Look at dude, really,
Nope.
like, during the show, he had a knife and was shaving with it like Crocodile Dundee. He doesn't even use razors.
I was cutting my nails, jerk.
With a
But anyway.
oh, that's better.
How do you
He
think
had like a buck knife on. He's got a cowboy hat on. He's sitting there with chew in his mouth, and he's trimming his nails with what? What was that?
A knife? A knife?
A knife, really?
Yeah.
All right, Tibbs, what do you want to talk about? Final words. The Browns. Who's getting yelled at?
The Browns. Huh?
Who's getting yelled
Oh,
at?
probably. Oh, him.
Oh.
Well, didn't they say Stefanski Coach of the Year today? Didn't that come out?
I don't know if that was the actual
didn't hear that.
NFL, though, that gave
Well, I
him
don't
the
care.
award.
Somebody
I don't
named
think
him,
it
and they
was.
should have. So, congrats. I don't care about the
Pretty sure it was
NFL.
the- I'm pretty sure it was the National Football League that or not the National Football League. I'm sorry, the National Sports Writers Association or whatever that gave him the coach.
Well, they're right.
Oh, they're not wrong.
all right.
Stefanski's definitely the coach of the year, but we've talked about that before. Stefanski deserves it, and he should own that, right? I mean, he did good.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you guys want to talk about? You look, but am I carrying the show? What's happening? Everybody, Hillis is sleeping. Tiff is staring at the screen. What is happening?
It's my birthday. Leave me alone, dude. I'm feeling old.
Oh,
It's his party. He can cry if he wants to.
I was taking Tiff and his friends to school when they were like 15.
I mean, he's not wrong.
My scabies hurt so bad.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Tiff, do you want to do a shameless plug for the show that you do now?
Yeah, Life in the Fast Lane show. We talk about things. We don't run out of things to talk about. Maybe we'll have Peyton Hillis on there and then run out of things to talk about too. So
I had to throw something back, didn't you, Tiff? You had to. Final thoughts, huh?
I got you. They text me. They say, you want to be on the show? Call me. You want to be on the show? Produce. You want to be on the show? Apparently it sucks. So.
No comment.
What is
No comment.
happening? Everybody's just fighting with everybody. It started with Hillis being mean about my red hoodie.
Like you just a little offensive. I mean, you get offended really easily, though. I've noticed that.
Who, me?
You're on edge.
That's not
Yes.
true. I don't get offended
Very much so.
easily.
You know, Keith, the reason I probably send you so many SpongeBob memes is because when he opens up his closet, all he has is square pants, and all he wears the red hoodie and that shirt. So you're kind of similar.
I
It's like
figured it
Peter
was because-
Griffin. You know,
really?
same deal.
Really? You want to go there, Matt? You want to go there?
I just went there. Would you like to come back because you're not defending yourself?
No, I don't have to defend myself. I'm just going to cancel both of these shows. Then what are you guys going to do?
Oh
Then,
no!
what's
You
going
don't
to
have to-
happen? Yeah. We got one person who can't figure out how to use a computer, and the other person who can't keep his damn camera on his computer. Without me, you guys don't know what you're doing. Red hoodie and all.
Yeah, he definitely is on his period this time of the month.
I'm not on my. Oh my god. It's been a long time since we all three got to be on a show together. Not like we're doing a hunting TV show. This isn't gonna work. All right, guys. Next, are you coming back next Thursday, Peyton, or am I doing the show by myself, or what's happening?
I'm coming back next week.
Is it in the backfield with Keith Miger now?
Yeah. Like I would love to see you in the backfield one time. Actually, that would make me very happy.
Yep. All right, we'll be back next Thursday. Are we gonna try to shoot for the same time though, or do you want to
Did
go
we
back
lose you, Keith?
to our
Yeah.
normal time?
We're good now.
Oh, this is great.
You like? Oh, is it?
I wonder if he hears us.
Who?
I have no clue, but I think the show's running better now, don't you?
I hate that. All right.
Yeah, it doesn't seem as loud. Like we can just talk regular right now.
There goes this mic. All right, so you just gave us crap about not being able to run the show. You can't even talk on the dang show now.
Yeah, it's like we just have a regular computer and this dude's losing audio. Like it's unbelievable. He's in his own studio, can't even talk to us.
Yeah, he's got a studio. You're in your house. I'm in the second bedroom here. He's got the fancy setup. He can't even talk.
All right.
Oh, Keith, man, you suck, dude.
Yeah. All right, sign the show off, Tyler.
Oh,
We still
anyway,
can't hear you.
I'm not asked. I don't care.
we'll be back next week in the backfield with Peyton Hillis and Matt Tiff. Stay tuned. We love you, Cleveland. Everybody, look out. God bless.